Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Andrew Deaker from Anything Blows. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well, as he does good interviews and prediction videos of fights as well as myself. And yeah, we've got a stacked card. It's on Saturday the 19th of August, Ultra Arena Birmingham, United Kingdom. We've got Galal Yafai 4-0 v Tommy Frank for the WBC International Flyweight title over 10 rounds in the main event. But we've got a stacked undercard, haven't we?
Yeah, we do, Sam. And first and foremost, thank you for that great introduction. And it's an honor to be on your channel and hopefully many more in the future.
Thank you, mate. And but yes, we'll start off with a few of the undercard. We've got Muhammad Mustafa Ali. Not a bad name, is it? But he needs to sort of live up to it, doesn't he, in a way?
Of course.
And he's got Francisco Rodriguez, who is 1-16, and it's in the super bantamweight divisions over 4 rounds. And I'm just going to jump straight into it. I reckon Mustafa Ali over 4 rounds. I reckon he should win every round quite comfortably. So I'm saying 40-36 for Ali.
100%, Sam. I'm going to go the same with you there. Muhammad Mustafa Ali, one thing is that he's got to live up to that name. And yeah, he's 2-0. He's coming in against a journeyman, 1-16. I'd like to see him get the victory. 40-36 looks great. Kicking off the matchroom card behind closed doors, which will be on YouTube. And hopefully he moves on to 3-0 from there. So I've got Muhammad Mustafa Ali with that one too.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. And then you've got Sahil Khan making his debut against Sean Jackson, who I've seen box at Your Call a few times and on YouTube and stuff. He's all right on his day. Well, he hasn't won a fight, but he's had 15 fights to his credit. But, you know, some of these journeymen are way better than what their record actually suggests they are. And to be honest, I haven't seen much of this Khan, but you would expect him to win. So, again, I would say 40-36. Another learning fight. Be interesting to see, as he is another one coming into the bantamweight British scene, which is good, as there's not many. You get fast tracks sort of at these lower weights. So I do expect Khan to beat him 40-36.
I agree with you there completely, Sam. Sahil Khan is fighting Sean Jackson. Obviously, Sean Jackson, the journeyman, 0-14-1. 2 notable journeymen in Britain. Jake Pollard, who won his first fight a few weeks ago, and Jordan Granham. You can't underestimate these guys, because even Zach Vassell going into that Jordan Granham fight got himself a draw. So Sahil Khan is making his debut. How is he going to face it under the lights on the Matchroom show? But I've got him winning 40-36, if not 39-37. It's going to be a very tough fight, but I could see him edging it out 40-36. It's not going to be the easiest fight in the world, but he is going to get him out of there. He's going to get the decision win.
Yeah. I understand, mate. Yeah. Then you've got, don't know if I can say his name right, but we've got Ibrahim Suleiman. I think I said it right, making his debut against Michael Gohi, who is 5 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw. He's fighting someone with a winning record and who's going to come to win. So fair play for him for taking that on his debut. And if I quickly just look at who his opponent's been in there with, Campbell Hatton he's fought earlier this year.
Well, that's a tough opponent. And we just saw Campbell Hatton win last Saturday on the Matchroom show.
That was a good performance from him, because I like Tom. We've had him on our channels. But it was a good back and forth fight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't.
I agree with the decision, if you know what I mean. But I thought Tom made a good counter of himself.
As I said going into it, huge fan of Tom, obviously fellow West Ham fan as well. I did want him to win in the arena. I was chanting for Tom, but it's one of those fights where you see a name such as Campbell Hatton. It's going to take a lot to defeat him. But as I said to Tom, and as I said to so many people, that was the biggest fight of his career, and it wasn't the easiest fight. And yeah, it was a closer decision than many people had it.
Yeah. But I do believe Ibrahim will beat his opponent. I reckon it'll be hard for him on his debut. An awkward German fighter. So I reckon 39-37 to Ibrahim.
100%, Sam. I'm going to go with you on that one. Ibrahim Suleiman, I believe it might be, versus Michael Gonje.
Yeah.
Yeah, a winning record. Look, these guys with winning records aren't no jokes. You may see 5-4-1, and you may think, okay, it'll run him over. But they are coming in there to fight, and I've got Ibrahim Suleiman winning that. As you said, possibly 39-37, because it's not going to be the easiest bout, is it?
Yeah. That's fair enough, mate. We're agreeing a lot, but we might not for the main 3 fights, mightn't we?
Ooh. Yeah, let's see where we go from here.
Because this is sort of like would you say like a bit of a prospect sort of prospect shows in a way?
100%, and therefore, hence why it's called Next Gen. The last 3 fights are notable guys coming up, and we'll get onto them soon. And a lot of the guys coming up are a lot of 2-0, 3-0s, or debutants. So yeah.
But it's good. It's a good card in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's a great card, great match from show, and a great way to kick things off, coming off that Anthony Joshua Robert Helenius fight.
Yeah. And then you've got Aaron Bowen, 2-0. I really rate him as a fighter. I'm not sure if have you seen him fight before?
I haven't seen much of him, but I've heard of his name coming up in the scene.
Yeah. I think he's from he's Coventry. Coventry. 2-0, mate. 1 knockout out of his 2 wins, and he's fought winning record opponents both times. And he's got another one who's 6-1. So, who's a Colombian. The last time that guy fought, lost to Boris Crichton, who's been recently getting on the Sky Sports shows and the big platforms, hasn't he? And it would be tough for Aaron Bowen. Of course, that guy, before he fought Boris Crichton, was coming off 2 knockout wins, so he can whack as well. I would like to think that Bowen could get the stoppage, but whether he wants to do that with a bit of a puncher as well, I don't know. But it would be good to see him get these 6 rounds banked in, and I could see him pushing on for tight. He's not far off. I reckon he could be going for a Midlands, probably mid next year, in my opinion. Very good fighter, Aaron, but I reckon he'll win on points, and I think he'll try and make it comfortable, 59-55, so 5 rounds to 1 to Bowen.
Yeah, a 6-round bout in the middleweight division. As you say there, a step up in opponent. Aaron, 2 wins, 0 losses against a guy 6-1. It's not going to be an easy fight. I can see that as well. 59-53, 59-50, that makes sense. Yeah, 59-53 or 58-54. So it's not going to be the easiest of bouts. I could see it where he edges a win or two, like the George Liddard fight the other night. I was surprised because I thought George Liddard was going to get the knockout, but the other guy was such a tough opponent, and it was a step up. And let's see what the step up does. And some fighters take step ups too early, but you know what? Like Marley Mason, you've got to get in there with these type of guys.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Then you've got Khalid Majid v Alestrano Fasula. We'll go on that. But Keely and 10-0 with 3 knockout wins. He's in the super lightweight division. Yes, it is fighting in the super lightweight division over 8 rounds, and his opponent's 9-4 with 1 knockout. He's from Italy, and over 8 rounds, step up for him as well. First opponent with a winning record for Khalid, so it should be good.
100%, mate. And I've got Khalid winning this one. Obviously, 10-0. He's double digits now, looking to make it 11-0, getting into those title fights soon. It is an 8-round contest in the super lightweight division against Alessandro Fasula. Again, another winning record. So coming up in the coming up to the end of the bouts, the higher end of the bouts, there are a lot of close 50-50 fights. And yeah, I've got Khalil Majid winning this one via decision.
I've got him by stoppage, I reckon, late on.
Ooh.
Round six. Let's go.
Round 6. Let's get that.
Let's throw a stoppage in there.
100%. First stoppage on the night coming for Khalil Majid.
Yes. But I think in the main 4 fights we could get a stoppage as well. This one, Solomon Durkers, looking good. English champion, isn't he, at heavyweight? Looking good at 6-0. I'll say, as we get up the card, I'll say who they've beaten, yeah?
Of course, yeah, you're good.
Not every single win, but
And are you gonna edit it out or just keep it raw as it is?
I'll just keep it raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's beaten Milan Mavin on points. Alvaro Terone, KO round 4. Beat Sokolowski via decision over 8 rounds. Espinal Dolo over 8 rounds. 8 rounds with Bracamont. And last time out, he beat Robert Ishmael over for the English, the vacant title, and he knocked him out round 2. His opponent, if I'm honest, don't know much about him, but winning record, 12 wins, 4 defeats, 1 draw, 7 knockouts. He's coming off 2 defeats, isn't looking great. But yeah, I think Solomon will want a big win for this one. And South African, I think it'll be tough, but I reckon Solomon's going to make a statement because he would like to get in that mix with the likes of Fabio Wardley, the Adelays, the Fishers, and I do believe
Jamie Takibia.
Pardon?
Jamie Takibia as well, up and
Oh
coming.
yeah,
Franklin Ignatius.
Franklin, yeah. Them lot, and he wants to get in the mix with these lot, and I think he'll make a statement this weekend. And it may come back to haunt me, but I'm predicting an early knockout, and I'm saying I'm going to say round 3 to Solomon, mate.
Oh, I'm agreeing with you on this one because I can see a big knockout coming in this one. I feel like after the 4th round, a possible 6th, 7th round knockout, and he'll get him out there, similar to the Johnny Fisher and Harry Armstrong fight.
Oh, that was a war, that one.
That was amazing. And credit to Harry Armstrong and both Johnny Fisher.
Yeah, mate. It was a solid fight. And now we go on to our main 3 fights. We've got Jordan Flynn, 9-0, v Kane Baker, 19 wins, 10 defeats with 1 draw. The rematch, I was there for the first one. First one was back and forth, could have gone either way. But this time, it's a bit sweeter because the winner will get an English title shot. And that is in the featherweight division. No, super feather.
I'd love to hear it, Sam. First and foremost, I'm going to get your opinion on something here. You watched that fight live. What do you feel about one referee, the main referee in the ring, scoring 8-round contest? Do you think 8-round contest should be scored by 3 judges, or do you think it was right to be scored by the one referee on the night?
3.
You believe it's better to be scored by 3?
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
I understand with 4 rounds, just go with the 1. And 6 as well, sort of just go with the 1. But 8, 10, and 12, 3, all along. And with Dex Spellman v Zorro, I was there as well. I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen that, but that was a hell of a war. And but yes, that was only scored by 1 judge, and it was 8 rounds. And I was like, it's a Queensbury show as well, live on BT Sport, and it's just found it a bit strange, but.
Obviously, we have judges there for a reason. I did manage to watch that Elizora fight, not live at the time. I did catch it after, and it was a very close fight. 2 guys I've had on the channel, Dex Spellman and Elizora.
Same.
One thing here, I'm going to give my opinion on this fight. And, okay, I'm a little bit biased here. The first fight, I do not think Kane lost, and Kane had a lot more power punches than Jordan did. We're not going off a 10, 15-second highlight reel. We're going off the whole fight overall, and I thought Kane done enough to win that fight. And Kane said himself, imagine you're Jordan Flynn, you're 9-0, and you've just been put in a rematch with Kane Baker. He shows himself. He knows who he is, like, humbly and respectfully, like, he's making fun of himself, but at the same time, I love the back and forth between this fight. I love that there's been put in for a rematch because, again, similar to Anise Taj and Vidal Riley, I feel like it's unfinished business. This is a very biased pick, but if I've got to stay on the fence and stay unbiased, I could see Jordan Flynn winning this fight. Obviously, 9-0 going on to 10-0.
Can I mention some of the people they fought, like records?
Pardon?
Can I mention just their main wins?
Yeah, go for it.
And the names they've been in there with. So probably Jordan's biggest wins is obviously Kane in the first fight. On the night, if I'm honest, I did thought it was the right call. But looking back, I thought a draw could have been fair, but I don't argue if it went either way, if you know what I mean, because it was a good fight. Take the
Yes.
bias away. No, I'm not saying you're being biased. I'm saying if I take as much as I wanted Kane to win, I thought it was fair. But looking back, I thought could have been a draw. But there's a bit of what style, and I thought, yeah, but yeah, he's his main win, and Joshua Ocampo and probably Constantine Radenoy. Kane Baker, I mean, even though his record don't show how good he is, he's beaten MJ Hall. He's been in there with Jordan Flynn, Luke Merrifield, Yusuf Kamari, Fiaz, Dean Jones, Myro Mills, Sam Maxwell, Ishmael Ellis, Chris Hadaway, Gary Cully, Connor Ben. Yeah, just not a bad resume, that is it.
No, of course it isn't. And you know what? When fighters see 10 losses on a record, for example, or even like Anthony Joshua, it's come against the elite level guys. It's not like it's come 10 losses to nobodies. They fought the best of the best. And that's what I respect about Kane Baker. So first and foremost, I'm going to take your prediction. We've spoken on the first part. What's your prediction for the rematch? And yeah, I'm going to do the same. Biased and unbiased. I'm going to be real with it.
The thing is, I think... Did you see Jordan said that he said he's going to knock Kane out this time, he said, I think there's a bit of bad blood and I can't wait to watch the press because Kane says he's a boxing fan with a licence, which I love that saying because it's just great guy as well, good fighter. If they do what they do last time, over 10 rounds, Kane's not the biggest of hitters either and neither's Jordan, but with these two, they got hit with they were throwing everything at him. I think could be a good fight. Whether Jordan tries to stay on the back foot and just box to the best of his ability, like I've seen before, then he could potentially beat Kane. But if Kane puts it on him, I don't know, mate. It's one of them fights. It's an eliminator, and I think Kane knows that. In all honesty to him, he knows around English level he'll get to, maybe a British, but I don't think he'll get any, go above that. No offence to Kane, because he's a good guy, good fighter, but that's me being honest. Same with Jordan, I don't think, you know what I mean, but it's just good fight. You know what, it's Kane's hometown, split decision, shall I tell you what? Even though people were going to say there's got to be a knockout with these two. But no, not for me. I reckon Kane Baker on split decision. And yeah, but it could go either way again, if you know what I mean. Good fight, though. Can't wait for it.
100%, Sam. I do agree with you there. So if I'm being biased, Kane Baker all day long. If I'm going to do a Vidal Riley and be real, which I'm going to be real with this one. I do like Kane, and I've got a soft spot for Kane, as the Tier 1-4 promoters always say when they've got their boys like Hadji and stuff. However, and P.A. Gordon. However, on this one, I'm going to be very honest with you. Look, Jordan Flynn 9-0. I don't think he would take any fights that he doesn't think he can win. So that's what I can respect about him. And obviously, as you said, an English eliminator, he wins this. He goes on to 10-0, double digits, and he goes on to that English title fight. However, with Kane Baker, there is bad blood. And one thing you did pick up on there, the hometown boy, the hometown hero in Birmingham, in his home centre, home stadium. So if I had to be very honest, I feel it's harder going into this fight than the first fight because there was no expectations from Kane in the first fight, respectfully.
Yeah.
The second fight, there's a lot of expectation because can Jordan beat him again? And there's a reason there's a rematch here because it was a close fight and it's come at the right call. There's been a lot of media coverage. I like Jordan's approach to it, his mindset. I'm going to knock Kane out. Kane's coming in to fight. I feel like the more calmer guy wins the fight on the night. You know what? They say a fighter who doesn't have tension between their opponents and doesn't have any problems is the best fighter on the night. So, again, split decision or whether it's unanimous. And I do not know if this one's scored by 3 referees this time.
Free,
but I believe
free.
Free, because it's a 10-rounder, obviously, and an English title eliminator.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as much as I want to be biased, I am going to be real with it. And again, split decision or a very, very close unanimous decision to maybe split decision to Kane, but it'll favour Kane. And like I said, the earlier rounds last time Jordan took it, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan takes the earlier rounds, but I've got Kane winning this fight, and he'll win it.
And Kane's done 10 rounds before, so it can play into his hands.
100%. And
But
again,
in my
as you mentioned,
opinion, sorry to interrupt, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jordan won. Just put it out there.
no, of course. Look, there's a lot of biasness here, and there's a lot of favoritism. If I took it away, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be proud of Kane. I just don't want Kane to be stopped in this fight, and I want him.
I don't think he'll get stopped, mate.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's just Jordan's approach to it. But as I said, being biased and being real, got Kane Baker, and even unbiased, it's going to be a hell of a close fight. And I think Kane Baker wins it in the later rounds, and so he takes it via decision through, like similar to Chisora Gerald Washington, which we saw early on this week.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Then we've got another cracker. In my opinion, could be co-main. I'm not sure of the order yet, but we've got Cyrus Patterson, 6-0, southpaw as well with 4 knockouts, and he's taking on Connor Walker, who's 11-2 with 1 draw. We'll say that who they've beaten and just a few people they've been in there with. Of course, Connor Walker, he's been in there with out of his last 5, he's won 3, lost 2. But last time out, he was fighting in March against Kane Gardner. He did lose to Kane Gardner, but he's also lost to Sam Antry for the English title. He's also beaten Jack Eubank, Levi Ferguson, Kevin McCauley, probably his highlight wins, with Cyrus Patterson. Probably last time out against Chris Jenkins. I'm not sure if you've seen that.
Yeah, I did watch that fight.
Absolute telephone war, that one. Coming off of 3 knockout wins as well. Looking strong. I know, because I like both these fighters, and I've spoken to them both before. Very good fighters. I think Connor's got a lot to prove. I do believe it could potentially be winning the rolling the last dice for him. 3 defeats in 4 fights would not look great. No offense to him, if you get what I mean.
No, 100%, yeah.
But Cyrus as well. Could this be a step too far? Is this a step up for Chris from the Chris Jenkins fight? In a way, sort of not, if you know what I mean. Because Chris being British champion, Connor, I think he's won a Midlands, I do believe, but that's it. Coming up short to Antry over the 10 rounds, and Kane Gardner. But if there's more likely to be a knockout, I do expect Cyrus, because Eddie Hearn's building Cyrus up quite quickly, you know what I mean? And you would favour Cyrus in the fight. No offence to Walker, but Walker's got that engine. Will it go all the way? But Cyrus again's got that power. I don't know, but if I have to edge to one, I'll go with Cyrus Patterson. Whether he stops him, I don't know. I'll come to my prediction in a minute, whether it was a knockout or points. But I'm saying Cyrus, but I want to hear your reasons. And maybe your reasons might decide if I say knockout or points. But what's your thoughts on that one, mate? Because that's a good fight as well.
So as you said, first thing to pick up on there, from the Chris Jenkins fight, is this a step up? Respectfully, no, but it's another building fight for Cyrus Patterson, because first and foremost, Chris Jenkins, look at his pedigree, former Commonwealth, former British champion. Cyrus, again, every other guy apart from Chris Jenkins and apart from Avengi Vazam, he's won via knockout. So I don't think he'll get this one via knockout. Oh, actually, no, correct me if I'm wrong. It's a 10-rounder. Yeah, I think he can get this in the later rounds. Huge British star, huge rising star. Eddie Hearn is branding him up really, really well. Connor Walker, tough opponent. But as you say, if you go onto his record, you see his last 2 fights. He's lost 5 points, lost via unanimous decision. Again, it can question you. Can he go the full distance? He's never been stopped in his career. However,
he's good.
He's tough. Just going with what Cyrus is and Cyrus building his way up, I think I've got Cyrus winning this and making a statement. And if he does this, he goes on to those English titles, the Southern Area titles. He goes on to the higher level in match. I'm not saying he isn't already, but
he's got WBA international.
Oh, does he as well?
Or no, maybe not the international, but he's got WBA something or something. He's got some sort of belt.
Oh, I wasn't. Oh, it's an IBO Intercontinental vacant welterweight. title. So
Oh, is it for that title?
no, I think he's won that already. That's the belt you
Yeah, so
maybe.
he's defending it. Yes.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
100%. I've got him winning that fight, and I've got it
Topic.
winning eighth round knockout. Eighth round.
Now you've said some of your thoughts. I'm thinking. I'm gonna. Oh, don't do it to me. I'm gonna. I'm just gonna say Cyrus. I'm just gonna say a Cyrus win.
Yeah, best way to stick like that. Love
Nah,
it.
but yeah, because it couldn't. It wouldn't surprise me if he stops him, or whether it was points, or whether Connor's going to be hungry to want to prove his point at this level and still wants to fight at this level. Who knows? But I would say a Cyrus Patterson win.
100%, brother. And going on to the main event now, if you'd care to introduce both fighters and their records.
Yes, Galal Yafai 4-0, with 3 KOs. He's beaten. I said he's beaten, and then I look at the record and I can't pronounce them. Wait, can you try?
Which name do you want me to pronounce?
Just all 4 of them if you can.
All four of them. So another thing I want to pick out on Galal, look at this. So his debut was at the O2 Arena against Carlos Valo Bautista. He then fought Miguel Cartagena, I believe that was right, and that was in Madison Square Garden. Then he went to Abu Dhabi to fight. I believe that was on the Bivol undercard.
Yeah.
For obviously the WBC International Flyweight title, which he's had since the beginning of his career, his pro debut. And then Moises Calleros, I believe that is.
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll
it's
go
a
on
double
that,
L. And O2 Arena. And now main headline.
And that guy, sorry to interrupt, but that guy, that Moses Karos, former two-time world title challenger.
Oh, didn't know that.
And he
Another thing
stopped
to
him
say
as
there,
well.
another thing to say there, which is very key. Look at the arenas he's fighting in. As I said, Abu Dhabi, the O2 Arena, the O2 Arena again, and then Madison Square Garden.
And
Certainly
headlining in his hometown, Birmingham, as well now.
And headlining. And one thing people say, are these sort of guys fast track? But look at his amateur achievement. Amazing amateur pedigree, and former gold.
No,
medalist.
silver.
Oh, was it silver? I thought it was gold.
Tommy said to me it was either bronze, silver, or gold, so we'll go on that. But an Olympian, and he did amazing. Yeah. So imagine if we're both wrong. I think it's bronze, but you think gold. I think it was bronze. I'm not sure. I can't remember what Tommy said, but yes, he was good in the Olympics. I'll mention a few of Tommy's fights, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
So he made his debut back in 2016 against Sergey Tamov. He's also beaten Craig Derbyshire, which he won the area title. Central area. Then he beat Adam Yanni, beaten John Chowa, as well. He's won WBC International Silver before against Aaron Depan. He's also lost to Rossan Hugo Granaz for the IBF Continental Flyweight title. He lost after the 8th round because he retired with a shoulder injury. Then he rematched that guy, lost split decision. Then he fought Matt Windle, won the British flyweight title by unanimous decision. Then he fought Charles Taunton, who's a good fighter, but he beat him on points over 8 rounds. Then he fought Craig Derbyshire, which was a very close fight. A rematch, that was a split decision draw, and that was for the British title, with Derbyshire down once in the 5th and once in the 12th. Arguably, Tommy won that, but it could have gone either way. I had a draw with Jay, and then his last time out, lost to Jay Harris, in the 10th round by TKO, with the corner chucking the towel in. But that was a telephone fight. Another war. I do believe one of the judges had a draw. One had Jay Harris up, and one had Jay Harris up by 3. By the looks of the things on the card, or I might be wrong, but it was a good fight. I probably had Harris leading by 1, or maybe Tommy by 1. I can't remember, but yeah, very good fight. That was in May. Whether it would have been better for Tommy if he won that fight, I think that would have been better confidence going into that fight. He's still very confident, very good fighter. Obviously, in my opinion, still probably Galal Yafai's toughest test. In my opinion, I still think that. Still think Tommy's wants a lot to prove due to his last defeat. But I think that's made him stronger as a fighter. I think he's got that dog in him. He said he's proven he can box at range, and he shows that dog in him as well. And that's what I love about Tommy. He said he's a bit of a both. And he said to me, I'm not sure if he said it to you, but he said he could stand, because he said whatever Galal Yafai wants, he's better at. And he said if he wants to stand and trade, I'll stand and trade with him, and I'll get the better of him. That's what he said. And I love the confidence in him. He says he feels like he's getting written off by the matchroom, and they think Galal Yafai. He didn't say Galal Yafai's looking over him, but I think Galal's team might, in a way. But Galal, very exceptional fighter, very fast hands. It's not going to be easy for Galal Yafai. Not going to be easy for Tommy. Then it depends how they both come out in the opening round. I think the first three, Tommy would be sort of a bit cautious, due to Galal being a big hitter as well. I think Tommy will start a bit cagey, then sort of come forwards. I think he'll nick a few rounds here and there. I think Galal will start to try and put it on him, try throw the sink at him. Tommy will use his experience to get out of there and survive. I reckon it will go the distance. And I do believe, as much as I want Tommy to win, and the amount of I've seen him fight, and I've watched him fight for I've watched quite a few of his fights live, not at the arena, like live on YouTube and Sky and stuff, and Fight Zone. But he is good, and I as much as I want Tommy to win, I do believe Galal Yafai will get the better of him on points, unanimous. But it won't. The scorecards won't reflect how well Tommy's done. But I think the judges will somehow have it wide. But I will go with a Galal Yafai unanimous decision. But the scorecards won't reflect how good Tommy actually was in the fight.
100% agree with you. Do you know if this is a 12-round contest or a 10-round contest?
It's 10, my friend, I think.
10. You say that as soon as my phone's just started, hence why I was about to check.
10, mate, 10.
10. So that's perfect. There you go. I couldn't have agreed more with what you said. I loved it. I was just intertwined with that, just how you're breaking that down. That's beautiful. That is exceptional, the way you described it, because regardless of the way Galal Yafai wins via decision, it will not express how good Tommy's performance is, in a sense that so many people want to check the results the next day, or so many people want to see the UFC results, or see a 29-27, 29-28, or 30-27. It doesn't actually define a fight. A fight could be 30-27, doesn't mean it's actually that wide. And
sometimes they have it I don't know if you've seen, but that Josh Taylor Lopez fight, I mean, one of them had it 115, 113, and people may wake up and they may not have watched it and look at the scorecards and say, oh, that was close, when in reality it was wide. And then sometimes it could be wide, but it's actually quite tight. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. And that's one thing I agree with you. One thing is watching live, whether it be in the arena or watching on screen, and then one thing is watching it back. So that Devin fight against Lomachenko, I thought Lomachenko won it straight away. Then watching it back, I can see why they've given it Devin's way. So as you say there, the scorecard won't represent everything. Obviously, there's judges there for a reason, and hopefully the right man wins. And as you said, you could have such a wide card, like I don't know the last card I was shocked about. Maybe Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard a few years back. That did shock me, because one had it Anthony Yard winning it by large, and then the next two had it Lyndon Arthur winning it very closely. So as I say again, in this one, we're going to be supporting our boy Tommy, and I wish the best for Tommy. However, I do believe Galal Yafai himself isn't looking over Tommy. His corner, he may be. I'm not sure
Eddie
about that.
Hearn, I think, is, in a way.
They
look at Tommy and they think, oh, he's good. They've picked him at the right time coming off a defeat. They might say, oh, Galal should get the stoppage, but they don't know how tough Tommy really is.
Yes, of course. So I am going to go for this one. Like I said, another telephone scrap. It just depends how the earlier rounds start off, but I have got Galal Yafai winning it via unanimous decision. It won't be as I say, as clean as the scorecards read it, but it'll be a great contest and a great night overall ending off the fight. So I've got Galal Yafai, and another thing there is one is in his hometown, and the second is toughest fight today by far.
It was, but yes, what a night we do have on Saturday night. Thank you as always. Make sure you subscribe to Endry's channel. And yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, Anything Blows on YouTube. Make sure you drop him a follow on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Sam. And likewise, everyone go subscribe to SWS Boxing. Amazing content, puts in a hard work at the shows, and love to see the next show you're at. Thank you, Sam.
Oh, thank you, mate. And I'll see you soon, yeah?
Take care, brother. Thank you for having me on.
Nice one, mate. Bye.